Whoa. Whoa. Drug addict. City. And feel glad that this, or happy that this is happening. This is sad. Overall, just be grateful that you live in a country where, you know, it's not as dirty as Philadelphia. Konnichiwa minasan. Kyo desu. So today we're looking at another video of the streets of Philadelphia. I've reacted to 2 videos in the past of people taking video footage throughout modern Philadelphia in the United States of America. Very, very bad state. So I figured I'd react to another video showing the kind of like deterioration or destruction of this once great city. So without further ado, ikimashou. Whoa. Whoa. Drug addict? She looks like she's yeah. That's mental issues. Off to a great start. Drunks, maybe crack addicts, heroin addicts, drug addicts. Even though the graffiti is nice, one thing you'll find in like places like in New York and Philadelphia, there's a lot of graffiti. A lot of graffiti. They're homeless. You know, I feel sorry for these people. Streets are dirty. It looks like a subway. It probably was a subway. You know, homeless people camping outside. Some maybe drug addicts, some maybe, you know, alcoholics. It's crazy. I think it's crazy to me how some parts in America look like third world countries. You know? Again, just crazy people, like just mentally unstable people. Tents everywhere because the homelessness crisis has skyrocketed in America, you know. I think this also is part of the deterioration of the American family. You know, when you don't have two parents to raise up kids and, you know, in a proper home, you find a lot of kids end up like this. You know, I bet a lot of these people come from broken homes, probably have no dad or parents divorced or something. And, you know, they weren't raised properly and now they have to survive being homeless or have, you know, sometimes just life happens too, you know. But one thing I always say, when you look at a desolate community, 99.9% of the time it's because the families are broken. There's no happy marriages and 2-parent households raising up kids in a healthy environment, you know. And I mentioned this in past other videos as well, that there's also policies that politicians put in place that negatively affect people, you know. And like I've said countless times, you know, you can't be a politician that runs a city and feel glad that this, or happy that this is happening. This is sad. Trash. People who look hopeless, they ain't got no hope, no life in them. I bet a lot of you guys can't imagine Japan being like this, you know. And another problem that people don't understand is that government can't fix this. There's some laws that make it worse for people that government can't change, but ultimately, this is a type of culture that is developed that needs to change, you know. And like I've always said in past videos, government and politics is behind of culture. So if the culture is a certain way, it's gonna affect how the politics or the government is, you know. This is sad. And see, what would usually happen is you would have like nonprofits or churches that will come into these communities and try to help. But even the sense of community is not as strong as it used to be in America. And as America is trying its best to become more secular, we abandon like our morality that comes from our Christian faith, because usually in Christianity, if you plant a church is supposed to help the community. But since you don't have a sense of religion or purpose anymore, it's like, why should I help people? You know? Yeah, I'm getting nostalgia vibes. This reminds me when I used to grow up in New York. You know, graffiti, homeless, drug addicts, lifeless people, man. I mean, it looked like a zombie. I mean, the man is literally walking like a zombie. And the problem with a lot of people don't realize is that when communities are destroyed like this, no business is going to want to open up in these communities. So then it causes less jobs to happen, because businesses are not going to establish in places like this where the community, there's probably a lot of crime, a lot of deranged people. It's not good for the economy as well. So you guys kind of see, like, when you come from a broken community, it affects everything, because the economy is basically the behaviors of people. You know, it's not some intricate system that's too hard to understand. The economy is basically behaviors of people. And if you have behaviors like this, you know, you can't really have a prosperous society with people like this, you know. And I feel bad for a lot of these people. I mean, look at them, man. They look like zombies, some of these people. They just look hopeless, you know. And imagine kids growing up in this kind of an environment where they probably see prostitution, drugs, gang violence. It's no wonder a lot of our American youth are crazy nowadays, because this is all they know, you know. That's why I also say, if you're in Japan, you be very blessed that most of you guys don't have to grow up in environments like this. And this is not, again, all of America, but you can find a lot of cities like this where they look like this. And it's just desolate, destroyed, hopeless, all kind of stuff. And I've said it plenty of times in past videos, be careful who you vote in office. Look at their policies. Care less about the personality, but more so the policies that they want to promote and put into office, because you can end up with cities like this. You know, that's why a lot of people are actually moving out from big cities, because big cities are I would say major cities are more for young people who are trying to establish themselves. But if you want to start a family or live a more peaceful life, everyone is moving to the south or to the suburbs, because the city is really and truly not the greatest place to raise a family, you know. And destruction looks differently depending where you are, but again, this is a clear sign of a society that is being destroyed. Again, homeless people everywhere, drug addicts everywhere. I guarantee, again, it reeks. You know, the parks the grass looks uncut, the pavement is destroyed, trash everywhere, graffiti. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. Yeah, it's a terrible sight, man. That's how Philadelphia looks. You know, I really do feel for the people there. You know, some people probably grew up in very unfavorable circumstances and ended up on the street. Some people were raised in that environment, you know, where where all they know is disease and homelessness and poverty and drug addicts and prostitution and gang violence and all that kind of stuff. And again, ultimately, like I always say, just be careful who you vote in office. But also, I believe community is what human beings need. Human beings are social creatures. We can't survive by ourselves, because if we do, we end up going kind of crazy. And this is a clear sign to me that this community has no community. You know, there's no sense of purpose or unity within the people, and people are just kind of just doing their own thing. So my wish for this is that a new culture will form, a culture where people feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, something that religion, Christianity in America often gave people. But since now America wants to become more secular, we've abandoned that aspect of it as well. So again, it's sad, but I think for many Japanese who are watching this video, just be grateful you don't have to live in a place like this. I'm not saying there's not places in Japan that probably look like this, but overall, just be grateful that you live in a country where, you know, it's not as dirty as Philadelphia. And I hope that in the future, these places can change for the better. That's my hope. So if you guys like the video, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Also hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video. 本当ありがとうございます。みんな気をつけて。じゃあね。